Last time you opened employee.csv and it was perfect. Every row clean, every column exactly where you expected it. Real life doesn't work that way. Today, I'm open the same file on my machine and it fought back. Some salaries are missing, 6 employees somehow appears twice, the department column has HR and different forms of HR, four different ways of writing the exact same thing, and half the column names themselves are miss. With space, random capitals, one column is literally called depth. This is not a mistake I made to torture you. This is exactly what real company data looks like on the day of a real job of data analyst. Nobody hands a data analyst a perfect spreadsheet, which is nothing but an Excel sheet. You get this, and it's your job to turn it into something trustworthy before anyone can use it for a single decision. So, today on Code with NM, we are not learning to read data anymore, we are learning to fix it. By end of this life, you will take this exact messy file and turn it into something clean enough to hand to your manager with confidence. Hello everyone, welcome to Code with NM. I am Nilesh Maurya, a software engineer, a educator and a founder of Code with NM. And today we are going to see how to clean a messier spreadsheet, Excel sheet or CSV file into a clean one. So before starting and jumping into anything, if you are new here on this live, make sure you go through my previous live because this live is a continuation of the previous live. So once you go through that video, you will have a better understanding of this life. Okay, let's start with our live session 2, which will be nothing around 2 hours and more. And the first thing is why data cleaning is important. And this is the most important and the first skill a data analyst must know. So here's the stats. Every working data analyst already knows most survey put data cleaning at 60 and 80% of data analyst actual time. So your most of the time goes behind cleaning the data on the job, of course, and not building the dashboard, not fancy visualization cleanings. So think of a raw data like vegetable straight from a farm, still covered in soil, and some are spoiled, some duplicates in the same crate by mistake. No chef start cooking with dirty, spoiled, duplicate ingredients. They wash, sort and discard the bad one first. Same data analysts do exactly the same thing, except the vegetables are rows and columns. So, if you skip cleaning and analyzing messy data directly, you don't just get a slightly wrong answer, you can get a completely wrong business decision built on data that silently lied to you. Imagine calculating average salary while 8 salaries are secretive missing, or counting 126 employees where 6 of them are just duplicate entries of the same 120 people. So here's what we are going to see in this live. This is today's roadmap, And first thing is we will be seeing handling missing values, and we will be seeing dropna and fillna. The second is we will be seeing how to find and then remove the duplicates. The third thing we will be seeing the rename the columns, and fourth thing is filter and sort. So we need to filter the data sometimes, we need to sort the data sometimes, so we will be seeing that. And the last thing is we will be seeing group by and a mini project based on cleaning and summarizing a messy HR data set. We are working on employees data from the previous live in this live, and the mini project is to clean and summarize messier HR data. So by end of today, this exact missing file or the messier file of employees.csv will be fully cleaned, correctly named, deduplicated means removing the duplicates, and summarized by department. Let's dive into this. And before that, if you have any query and any doubt regarding the previous video, you can ask me right here, right now. I will be waiting for a few seconds, and then we will jump into the first part of the roadmap, which is nothing but missing values. Okay, before touching any code, let's look at what actually wrong. This is employees messy.csv. So let me open that file first, and this is the file. And if you see, first thing first, let me also open the cleaned file, which we have already seen in the previous video, so you will get a better understanding. Ah, okay. So this is a cleaned one, which we have already seen and worked on. So if you notice on the first column itself, you can see EMP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see this is a sorted and very clean CSV with 120 employees data. On the other hand, the today we are working with employees messy CSV, and you can see first thing first, what we can notice is this is not sorted. If you see it starting from 92, then 16, then 85, and there are some in cities, if you see the some datas are missing, and there are also duplicate values in this. So this is a messier file. So now you know what is a messier file. The data is missing, the duplicate values are there, it is unsorted, unfiltered. This type of CSV file is known as messy CSV. Okay, and this is the same file of 120 employees, but if you see in this Excel, we have 126 due to duplicate. And this is how in real world you will be getting the actual data in a form of CSV, the messier data. So let's jump onto our VS Code, and let's start uh, looking around the data, and let's play around with it. So this was our previous live code, and let me remove this all, and we will start from scratch. I hope it is now visible. Okay, so first thing first, let's see the name. So the cleaned CSV file is employees, the messier one is employees underscore. So we want to work with the messier file. So let me rename the file name over here, and let's see the shape of the data itself, because in previous live we have seen it's 120 rows and 10 columns, so it should be same here. So let's print and df dot shape, and let's save it to execute. The command is python and your file name, in my case it's app.py, and let's hit enter and let's see the shape of it. So this is the first thing, because for you I just open the excel and shown you, but in real world I already told we never open the excel. We use all the commands to know if the file is cleaned or not. So what I can see is here it's 126 rows and 10 columns. So column is exactly the same, but I can see the rows has increased by 126. So first let's check the column names and other things. So I will be executing the command. This all we have already seen in the previous live, so make sure if you not gone through that, make sure you go through that live and you will understand this all commands. So to see the column names, we need to do df dot column, and let's execute again, and all the column names will be here. So first thing first, I can see employee ID, employee name. This is something new. Depth, age, experience, and if you see the salary is all caps, but depth is in small caps, means in small letters. And performance rating, project is all small, city, joining date, and the type of all the columns are in string. Okay, so this was the first thing we noticed with the column names, that one is all small, the other is all caps, and this is not a regulated data names, means the regulated column names. So we need to have a proper one regulation for the column names. Let's take a real world example for this. This is like receiving a filing cabinet where every folder is labeled differently, some in pencil, some in pen, some upside down. Before you can find anything, you have to relabel each and every folder consistently. Why? It will help us to if you are next time if you want to find some file from the cabinet, it will be much more helpful, because each and everything follows same pattern. Okay, so how we can change the column names, and what will be the standard following for us, that is what we are exactly going to fix with our code without touching the excel. Okay, and we need to fix each and everything over here, but I'm starting with one thing, I'm addressing one thing at a time, or else I can show you all the other things at the same time. So next thing is we find out the shape, and we already know in it was 120, and here we found it's 126. So let's focus on the rows also. I think there are duplicate values, and I know it's duplicate value that I am the one who created it. And of course there are 10 columns, so we already seen the 10 columns, and find out what is the issue with the 10 columns. So let's also check what is the issue with 126, and that's what we will find the missing values or duplicate values if we go deeply into the rows part. Okay, so let's jump into the missing values. Okay, so before jumping into the missing data, first we need to find, is there any null values? Or I've already shown you in the Excel that in cities there are two null values, and might be there can be more. So check every cell and return true. Where a value is missing, combined, so it count as a missing column. And let's take a real world analogy to understand this, and then I will be jumping onto the code and I will be showing you how I can find, or how we can find the missing value from our Excel sheet without opening the Excel. Okay, so this is like doing an inventory in a warehouse. Before restocking anything, you first walk inside that warehouse and check every aisles and note exactly where the shelf are empty. Okay, hello Saurav. So let's now jump into the code and let's check. Let me comment this too, because now we know the shape of our data, and of course the column names, and we find out the what is the issue. So now also let's check the missing values of it, and I will be explaining you all this, so don't worry what is this code is all about. Let me clear this screen and let's see the output. So here is an output. If you see employee ID, it says 0, employee name, it says 0, depth is 0, age, it says 3, experience, it says 4, salary, it says 8, performance rating 6, and project 0, city 5, joining date 0. So there are some numbers, and what are this number and what are zeros over here? Okay, this is what we need to understand. So I've used two things, df is null and dot sum. So what this two things does, which is more painful, missing value or duplicate rows? uh, I think both are painful, it's not the comparison. We can say that removing or finding the missing values is painful, or finding the duplicate rows and removing the duplicate rows are painful. It depend on the person to person, the data analyst to data analyst, what they find more painful. But according to me, both are painful, because in both of them we need to uh, work on it, and we need to do some extra steps to clean the data. Okay, count the null values. Okay, you are answering is null. What is null is used for? Shashi Kiran. Yes, I think you are the one who introduced yourself in Discord right now. Yes, before going, I think I started the live. Yeah. So welcome to Code Within family, Shashi. And what is sums does? If you are answering this, what is null does? So you should answer what sum also do. I will wait for your reply in chat. Yes, sir. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, go ahead, try, because this is what the meaning of teaching live is. This is two-way conversation. Either your answer can be wrong or right, but attempting is the most important thing. Sum of the total instance of null. Perfect. So you are absolutely perfect. What does is null and dot sum will be doing? First it will be counting the null values, and then it will iterating through how many null values are there, and then it will summing it and showing us. So for example, employee ID in our case it's 0, means it doesn't have any null values, but age, it has 3 null values. So it found, first it found is null, it is true or false. So what it does is null returns true or false. If it is true, means there is a null value, it will record it, and dot sum will add those three, and then the age value, it's saying 3. So we have 3 null values in each. So for this, there is a one common beginner mistakes. I will be explaining those to you, which is running df.isNull alone and getting confused by a giant true and false. I will show you that. And grid always change dot sum on a top of a get clean readable count per column. So if you are not getting my English definition, what I said just now, let me just demonstrate this to you all, and then you will understand what I am saying. So df.isNull will always give you this type of things, that what I was saying. It will give you a grid like structure. The grid like structure means nothing but a table format with rows and columns. If you see in employee ID false, 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 means it doesn't have any null value. Where if you find true, for example in rating we find true over here, so this is a null value. So isNull will always generate a grid value, means a table value, and it will assign a false and true depending of if there is a data, so it will say false. If there is a empty value, it will say, means a null value, it will say true. And further on, if I add dot sum over here, then it will calculate all the true values and return 3, 4 for that particular column name. I hope everyone understood now. Okay, so now if I add dot sum over here, it's nothing but, let's save it and execute this. So you can see 0 means employee ID doesn't have any null value, age has 3, and other has the null values. If value is null, then what will sum? Understand this, value is null means isNull only returns, see this table, this is a table or else grid, whatever you want to name it for the better understanding. Value is null, we are not considering the value, we are considering isNull will always return, it is a boolean thing, it will return true or false. Using isNull function will return true and false, and this sum is calculating how many trues or how many false, but in real it is only calculating true only. So if it is true, it will calculate and add the number of times of true been repeated to this. For example, if age has 1 true or 3 trues, so it will sum that 1 plus 2, it will find 3 trues there in age, and it says age has 3 trues, and that 3 trues is nothing but 3 empty or null value. Understood this? Okay, got it. Hope this is clear how we find the null values. So let's proceed. And now we have successfully identified that we have the missing values in age and XYZ. I don't want to repeat it. So now how to deal with it? This is most important. First, finding is most important, then dealing it with is most important. So let's deal with it. And to deal with it means removing the missing data. So also let me show the PPT because I've created it. So this is messy data, XYZ. Missing values means blank cell, salary, rating, city, age, and experience have the missing values. Duplicate employees, we have 6 duplicate employees, means I've repeated their data twice. Inconsistent text means this is, I was talking about HR. Okay. Sir, what is the first thing you check when you open a new data set? First thing check, I will just do a dot head or dot tail. I will be seeing the complete data set in first go. I will be sharing those messier data. Yeah, okay. Sorry for that. If you, I forgot that many of you might be doing this with me. Let me share the messier data with you, and thank you, Shashi, for reminding me that. Let me share in the Discord. Let me. Yeah, please check the Discord resource. Let me open the Discord, and in resource here, I've shared the employee messy here in this resource one. Okay. And thank you for reminding me that. Yeah, so someone asked, sir, what is the first thing you check when you open a new data? So first thing I will check the how data is. So to check it, do dot head or dot tail, and you will get to know your data and after seeing the data you will get to know it is sorted or unsorted. There is a missing value in first 5 because head by default print the first 5. What are the column names and xyz. Okay. Okay. So in this, these are the 4 parameters where we say the data set is messier. So this slide is much more important. So missing values, already I've explained that. Duplicate values, I've explained that. Inconsistent text means there are 4 type of different HR. If you see, 2 are same, first and third one are same, so only 3 different types of HRs. Okay, and the messier column names. So if you see employee name, then depth is small, salary is all caps, and spacing issues is there because on employee name after E there is a space. If you can see that. So this is the type of the messier data. So that's in this 4 parameters you can define your data is messier. Okay, I hope you understand. The finding the missing values, we already done this. We have find this df dot is null dot sum, and we already got it. I think all you all are very smart because in very short explanation you all got this, what is null and what is sum is doing. Okay, so next part is dropna versus fillna. So dropna help us to remove that missing values, and that fillna I will be explaining you through code because fillna will can be only explained with the explanation. Okay, so let's first understand the dropna. Dropna removes rows or columns that contains missing value. By default, it drops any row with even missing values. Understand this, the definition of dropna is very much important. First thing first, what it removes, it can remove rows, it can remove columns, but by default it always remove rows. Okay, with the missing values. Let's take an real world analogy, real world example. Imagine a stack of job applications is like an HR manager who says, even if one field on the form is blank, throw the whole form out. So what it will do, if there is a one single field blank, HR is throwing the whole complete form of any candidate who has filled it, means they are not accepting that form. But what will the worst case scenario, you will lose the whole applicant. For example, you applied for a job and they have created a system. In that system they are saying if the applicant missed their phone numbers or their experience and their college name or whatsoever, one missing field in their entire resume or entire form, so they are not considering the entire form itself, means they will lose that applicant. So with only for that particular blank field. So that is why data analysis is important, because HR won't sit and just go through your resume. If you have missed something, they directly won't consider the entire resume, but e- everything directly won't go to the HR. So what does the data analyst do? They will remove that blank field. They will fill it with something else, that is fillna. I will be explaining you in after the dropna. Once you get it what is dropna, then you will understand what is fillna also. So let's see, let's stop the theory thing, because action speaks louder than words, what I always say. So let's see this. Let me comment this and let's jump to dropna part. And why I'm creating a new data frame, I will be explaining you that too. So this is how it looks, and perfect. And let's clear the screen, and now let's see, but it will print the complete dropna. So uh, we won't understand what are the values it dropped. So let's do shape over here. Sorry, let's do shape over here. Let me clear it again, and now let's see. See, initially we have 126, now we have 10110. So for that, let me also print df dot initial shape. Okay, then you will understand what I have done over here. And let's now First clear the screen, then execute it. See, the first one is uncleared data 126 by 10 means we have 126 rows, then 10. And the second one is 101 10 columns. So columns are fixed. 10 columns. Columns are fixed. We haven't touched the columns. We have touched the rows because in the definition, dropna by default touch rows. To touch columns, we need to say it and we need to pass some parameters to do it. Okay. So the line number 10 means the output number 1 is unclean data and the second one is cleaned one. So we have successfully removed the missing values. So if we see, we went from 126 rows to 101 rows. That 25 rows gone just because one field, that field was empty, means they all were empty, and somewhere in each of them they were empty. They didn't have any, even dot also, comma also, any type of data they don't have it. The cell was completely empty. So that's a lot of real employee data thrown away from one missing cell. Yes. If you are understanding this, if not, let me explain it again. If in complete data set of employees, let me open the Excel itself, messier one. So let's take this example. Just see, observe the row 6. Here the missing data age is the missing. So because of this age is missing, we have dropped the complete employee itself. So because of one missing cell, we have thrown the complete data. Understood this? What we have done? Yes or no in the chat? If not, I will explain you that again. What we have done, what dropna function do. Yes, you have understood it. Okay. Yes, okay. And everyone is smart out there. Okay, let's take a real world example for it. And this is very dangerous because using dropna, and this is the beginner mistake. This is also beginner mistakes. So using dropna by default on every data set without checking how much data it deletes, always before doing it, always check for shape that I have done before and after, because you might silently lose a large chunk of your data set. This is, we are working with only 120, but in real world there will be millions and millions of data, and there will be a case that there are many. For example, out of 2 million, 1.5 million some data will be missing. So if you directly do dropna, you will be losing 1.5 million of data and you will be remaining with 500,000 of data, and this is very wrong to work with. So be careful, be mindful when to use dropna and when not to use dropna. Okay, this is a very common beginner mistake. Not on every data set we do dropna. This is, I have done because I need to introduce dropna to you and I am explaining this to you. Okay, so don't throw away, in our case, don't throw away the entire form because the applicant has just missed their age or their percentage or anything else. Okay, so how to handle this? The second question arise for you all is, okay sir, if you're saying don't use dropna any time for any data set, so how then we can handle the missing data? And there's where the filna come into the picture. So I've told you, if I've explain you what is dropna, automatically you will understand the filna. So if I can't drop the missing values row, how I can do any other manipulation that without dropping it and without making it any arbitrary value that will affect my analysis at the end. So how and what we need to use? So we need to use filna, because filna is nothing but filling the missing data intelligently. Why I'm saying intelligently? Because if you give any arbitrary value for the missing data cells in your CSV, then your analysis can be have many outliers. And what is outlier said, leave it for right now, means your analysis can shift to one side. It will be biased, it will be shifted to one side. For example, your after clearing the data, after using the drop now, your analysis give you 5 on the parameters. But if you use fill now, and you're filling with 10 values on the all the missing values, you fill 10 10 10 10 10 everywhere, or else you're filling it with 0 0 0 0. So might be after that your analysis can give you 10, or analysis can give you 1, analysis can give you 3. Then you are uncertain that 5 is correct analysis, 10 is correct analysis, or 1 is correct analysis. And this all analysis will be lead to the business decision. So we can't do any type of analysis on the data. So that's why we need to fill the missing data intelligently. So basically the definition of fillna is, instead of deleting rows, we replace the missing values with something sensible, a fixed value or a calculated one, like the column average. Understood this? What we need to do, we need to take the average, because average won't affect your calculations. If you know maths, you know this. Taking an average of anything and add it to that thing won't affect our calculated value. Understood? For example, if you have a 5 students, yes, and 5 of them, some of them score 80 90 80 90 80 90, what will be the average? Let's take 3 of them scored 80, 2 of them score 90%. What will be the average? This is easy, you can calculate right away and answer me in chat. Should I make it more easy? If this is that's simple, add those 5 and divide by 5. Simple. Not okay. Let me make it more easy. 3 of them have scored 80 and other 2 scored 60. 5 students are there. First student has scored 80, second 80, third 80, other 2 60 60. Now I've made it much more easier to calculate. It's easy, that 8 plus 8 plus 8 is how much? And then plus 60 plus 60 and divide by 5. I think I've asked a very hard question to you all. Come on, you all are learning data analysts and doing a data analysis. So you should know a basic how to calculate average. And in my previous live, I've taught you also what is average is all about and how to calculate it. 72. Okay, you're saying 80 plus 80 plus 80 plus 60 plus 60 divided by 5 is 72. This is the average. Let me also calculate. It's 24 and 30, 36. Yes, perfect. It's 72. I have also calculated it. So yes, it's 72. Now, if I add the 6th student with the average only, means the 6th student has score 72, will it affect your final output? Will it be affecting the 72 number? Understood my question? The average of 5 student is 72, and now I have added the 6 student with the same percentage, means that 6 student has scored 72 only. Will this affect your average? Yes, no? No. Yes, perfect. Saurav is intelligent. So yes, it won't affect your average, because adding anything now with the same average won't affect it. So that's what this is doing, Filna, with a smart and intelligent way. So we are going to do it right away. We are going to take the complete average of our rows and columns means our complete data, and then we will be filling those average on the empty cell. Perfect. Everyone got it, and I think everyone is smart. People are already. I think you all are already a data analysis. Then you go know good at maths, you know the analysis, and you just don't know the technology. So learn the technology with me and go be a data. Okay, so we can't directly take the complete data set and start working on it. We need to select by columns and columns. So first column I'm selecting is salary. So let me because each and every column has different parameters. For example, age is in from 20s up till 80s. The age, there is a range of age, but the salary is in thousands or lakhs. So I can't do the average of salary and just apply the same salary average to the age. It doesn't make any sense. That's why we need to work with column to column. So I'm taking the salary first, and I'm naming the variable as average salary. And I haven't answered this why I took the different variable for this for drop now, because I just want to compare and show you the first df shape and the second df shape, and minded do it in this way. Don't touch the original data frame. That df is the original data frame. After doing drop, before doing it, we created a new variable, new data frame, nothing but a new data frame, and then I did a drop. So in this way my original data frame wasn't affected. Okay, because might in the going further, we need the original df to work with something else. That's why always create a new data frames or new variables to work on it. Okay, in here also I'm doing the same for the salary. So for average salary, it's nothing but average means here in programming means mean. So I will be taking mean. Mean is nothing but the salary. And don't forget, we have already seen the column name. It was in all caps. That's why I need to type in the same way, and now I'm calculating mean itself. Okay, this is the code done. Now df, and this is my original data frame. df is the original data frame. From that I am selecting the column which is nothing but our salary. Here I have calculated the mean of the salary. This is calculated mean salary, and I have stored it in the average underscore salary, but this is the calculated value only. I haven't applied this average salary onto my real salary column. So this, now I am applying it. So to apply it, salary, and then dot fill now, and we are saying fill with calculated average salary. Hope this two lines make sense. First we have took the average, means we took the mean, and after taking the mean, I am storing that value into this variable average underscore salary. And now we need to apply this onto the places where empty value is there, means there is no value in the salary column. So first I need to select that column. So I have selected it, and then this column dot fill now. So fill now is asking what value you want to fill, where at the empty value of the salary. So fill now will find those empty value and fill with the average salary. I hope now you understand it. Let's clear it and let's print again, because we need to, this is we have updated the salary, but we, if you want to check it, if the salary is, so sorry, we need to do is null again, parenthesis dot sum. So fill now will update all the cell in the salary with average salary value. Of course, you got it perfect, sort of. And let me do this also. So before calculating the average salary, I'm checking the is null value, and after it also, after updating the average salary in the salary column for the empty value, I'm doing this is line number 12 is just for the comparison of before and after for you all to understand. Okay, so let's save it, execute it, and you will see there will be two output. Okay, up till here this is, so in salary if you see before it was 8, empty values, and after we have took the average and with the help of Filna we have updated those empty value, you can see the salary has become 0, means we have successfully updated salary column with average data. Hope you understand this. Yes, no in the chat, or else I will explain you again, because this all is important. 80 or 90% time of a data analyst goes behind this all to clear the messier data. Done. Okay, now you all got it. I can see. Understood. Okay. Okay, thank you for replying in the chat. Okay, so this works on salary. What about the ratings? Here we have ratings also. Let me just open the Excel so it will be easier for you to understand. So here if you see we have ratings also, performance ratings. What about this? Should I take an average of this? Average and then fill the missing values, because rating also I can see 1 and there are more also 2 3, but this is not a good thing to do, we already have here. So let's see in ratings. Yeah, we have 6 values, 6 empty values. So how we can fill those? Should I take mean of it or should I do something else? If see, this is where mathematics come in the picture with for data analysis. If someone says you don't require mathematics to do and to become a data analyst, that is rubbish. You need to know maths. Why I am doing this, why I took average mean over here on salary, and why I'm asking for rating, why can't I take average, why we need to do something else? This is pure mathematics. Okay, I will provide you the answer if you are not getting it. For rating, I will be using mode, MODE, mean median mode, if you are aware of this. Okay, mean is better, but again I will explain you why I'm not taking mean. I've just given you the answer mode. Now think around it. Why I am saying around rating use mode. First thing first, what is mode? MODE mode. Anyone first? You can answer this. What is mode? And then I will be explaining to you all why I'm not using mean here, but I'm using mode over here. And this is where your analytical power being used to clean the data. I directly can't apply mean to each and every column of my data. My data won't be cleaned. My prediction won't be that accurate. First thing first, what is mode? Anyone in the chat? What is mode? Let me. Most frequently occurring element. Perfect. The definition is to the point. But those who are not got what does this mode mean? The most frequently occurring element means in the entire column is number 3 is being repeated multiple times compared to number 1, 2, 4 or 5. 3 is the most repeated element, that is nothing but mode. So basic definition of mode is the number that shows up most of the time. Yes, which is frequent. So now everyone get it. So mode is nothing but the highest number, repeated number in that column. So now why I'm using mode for ratings? This is the another question, and that here you will understand why I'm not using mean but mode. In for rating, let me open the Excel so you all can think on it. Because for me, directly answering it, if you are thinking and applying your brain, then you are transforming yourself from a normal people to a data analyst. Think of it. Take few seconds and think on it. Why on salary I've used mean, but on performance rating I'm using mode. Now you know what is mean, what is mode. Mean is average, mode is nothing but most frequently occurring element, which is appropriate to the point definition. And clap for Shashi Kiran. But using that will affect either in two ways: good if more good performance, bad if more bad performance. Okay, if you are not getting the appropriate point, it's good that Shashi you tried to answer it, but the actual answer is, what does mean do? It will be more easy to predict salary. Okay, no, this is not an appropriate answer, but it's good that you all are thinking in a right way. Okay, doing and taking an average salary, and we don't have a range for the salary, of course. We don't have any range for salary, that someone's salary can be 5 lakh, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 50,000, 40,000. And taking an average of the salary is possible because there is a no range. But for the rating, we have a range from 1 to 5. We have a range of 1 to 5. Reviewing rating, yes, of course, Saurav, it will affect the reviewing rating in a way that we have a rating if you observe the data carefully, because I have already observed this data, I have the one who created it. But in real world, we have a rating up till 5 star. Yes, understand this. We have a rating from 1 star to 5 star. If I take the mean of it, average of it, there is a possible case the average can be 7. The average means mean can be 8, 7.5, 6.5. But we have a rating criteria that up till 1 to 5 the rating can be there, not beyond 5. You can't rate anyone more than 5 star. So taking an average can be a number greater than 5. Yes, there will be a case. So what this mode will do, it will go and see what is the highest repetitive number, and we will be filling with those highest repetitive number. For example, in our case, if 3 is the most repetitive number, I will be filling the blank one, the empty data, with 3. So this won't affect my complete rating column. Hope now you all understand where to use mode and where to use mean. Yes or no in the chat. And that's what I've told you before starting the data analysis. We need to understand the data and then mathematics, and then only we can do any analysis. But I'm not sure people out there what and how what they are teaching. They are just jumping onto the Python and SQL and mastering this and that all and make you data analyst. This is not how actual real world works. We need to understand the data, and now you're understanding the data and where to use mean, where to use mode. This is important. Okay, now if you understand that why using mode is important, let's jump onto the code part. Now 80% of job is done. You have already understood why I'm using mode over here. Now just I need to do the code. So let me comment all this. Let's leave the line number 12. I want it before and after for the comparison. Let me clear the screen also, and quickly let's do the mode thing. So I'm checking a new variable, common rating, and let's say df, because that's our the original data frame, and the column name is performance, performance, and it's the space there, r is capital, rating, it should be exactly the same, and simply I'm doing mode. And of course this is only one value at a time. I need to update the one value, means 3 is the maximum, so I want to update the 3 only. If I remove this, the output will be something else, and that I am giving you the homework. Just try this without this 0 and tell me in this code what went well or what didn't went well. Okay, this is a homework for you all. Meantime I complete the code. Rating dot fill now, because we are doing fill now and we are updating with common rating. Okay, hope you are now understand this code. It's nothing, it's simple. We have take the mode of the rating one, and we only interested in the maximum, highest maximum repeated value, not highest value, maximum repeated value. That is ultimately the mode is, and then we are storing that one value into common ratings, not all the values. If there are 15 times 3 is repeated, I don't want all 3 into common rating. I only want 3 out of all those 3. That's why that 0 is there. Okay, so that 3 is stored here, and then I'm saying that in original column of performance rating, there's fill now with all the missing values with 3. I'm saying 3. I'm not sure what number is there. Let's see what number is there. If, and then let's print it again. So let me copy this and paste it over here. So I have just uncommented the line number 12. This is before and this is after, and let's save it and let's execute and let's see the output. Okay, let's only check for salary, why it is again before that, and let's only check for the rating. Before it's 6 and after here you see salary 8, because I have just commented the salary one, so it will be 8 only, but we are only interested in the performance rating. See, it's 0. Before it was 6, means 6 missing values was there, and now the missing values is gone. We have successfully deal with the missing values in performance rating without affecting any other data in our database. Line 17. Okay, so line 17 is nothing but mode will see what is the highest values, repeated highest value. For example, 3. So 3 is there 15 times in our Excel sheet. So 3 is the frequent, the highest frequent number is 3. So what it will do, it will get 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 15 times. So do I am so is you or I interested in that 3 times to store in our common rating? No, we are only interested in the first 3. For example, let me just write it down over here as a comment. This is the value the mode will get. It will get all the highest frequent repeating number, which is 3 in our case. I'm taking the 3 example, and this 3 will directly stored in the common rating, but I'm only interested in the 3 only, not this complete 3 series. So I'm only interested is this first 3. That's why this 0 is there. So what will this 0? This 0 highlights this first 3, and I'm only interested to store this first 3 in the common rating. Okay, hope you all understand this. So this is how we deal with empty value. So in some of the case you can directly drop if that row is not important to you all. For in the case of duplicate values, you can drop it if you are sure that this value is duplicated. But if not, this is how with the use of fill now. But not only just fill now, we have smartly calculated where to do what, where not to do something. Like everyone was saying we can do mean, but in rating if you do mean, that doesn't make any sense, because in our case it can go, the mean, the average can go beyond 5, and in our case this is not fitting the purpose. That's why we are doing the mode. So this is how first you need to understand the data. Yes, so that's what you are doing actually with me. Yes, 030, and there are many numbers out there, but the real use case is this way, because if you work with millions of data, this is what you are going to get. Sashi. Okay, so now the most important thing, salary and performance rating are now fully filled with 0 missing values. So let me just uncomment this also. So for salary also this is true. Okay, let's save it and execute it. So both of them will be now sorted. Yeah, now the rating and salaries doesn't have any missing values. Okay, that's what now while age, experience and city still shows gap. If you see, age showing 4, experience showing 4, and city showing 5. So because we haven't handled those yet, so how you all can handle city and age and experience? So can someone tell me how we can handle age? Can we take mode? Can we take mean of age? How you will be dealing with age? I will be answering that, Shashi. Give me a few seconds. Let me just clear this. Because in real world, this is the most common approach. This what we have done with the salary and performance rating. Because rarely in real world, rarely in very extreme scenario, they want to lose data. They don't want to lose any employee data. So that's why we just can't left it as blank as it is. Also, we need to smartly fill those data. So that's why this mean and mode we are going to use. But how you will tackle with city, because it has strings? How you will tackle with experience? Experience has number. But how you will tackle with age? How you will deal with this type of data? Just tell me. Median. What is median then? If you're saying median, what is median over here? For age, we can use minimum value. Okay. Any other answer around it? Okay, meantime, I will answer the Sashish. Also, it is a float value. Does it matters? So, if it is a float value, but the first value will always a whole integer in the mode, and it will pick that first value. And if in the extreme scenario, if it is a float, then too it will consider it as an integer. It will ignore all the numbers after dot. For example, if you get 3.5, it will consider 3, not dot 5. Hope I answer your question, Shashi. Middle value after arranging in ascending or descending is median. Of course, the definition of median is to the point, but where we can use it on age, experience, or city. If you want, I can open the Excel sheet for you to see the data. So, see, age is a number. Of course, you all know that salary is also in numbers, but city is not in numbers. So, if you are saying for employee 1110 means row number 11, what city I can fill? I can't randomly fill Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Indore, Chandigarh, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, anything there. So how we deal with this type of data where string itself is missing? Should I give this homework to you all and you think and come with the solution? Okay, okay. I'm a bit excited for you all to think on this. I'm giving homework how you will be addressing age, addressing experience, and the missing value in city. Okay, let's see who comes with the solution and just share this in the Discord to me. Okay, let's jump on to the next topic. Set as a default string such as unknown. Yeah, this is one of the solutions. But again, if you doing a graphical represent of this, that graph will have that unknown parameter over there. And if there is a missing values out of in our case it's 120 employees data. So if out of 120, 60 doesn't have their city, so bar will have 20% Delhi, 20% Mumbai, 30% or whatsoever, the 10% Delhi, but 60% bar will be there for unknowns. Mode for category text. Yeah, you can do that mode for category text, but how you can do this with the help of coding, that's what the challenge is all about. And I'm giving you homework. If nobody is able to solve the age, the experience in city, in my next life, I will be showing that how to deal with this type of data. That's being just try to solve it. I'm just putting you in a state where you will develop a thinking capability of a data analyst. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. So we have already understood what is drop line, fill line, how to use it in terms of coding. Also, we've seen the output and understood it very well. So the next topic is nothing but the finding and removing duplicate values. So duplicates, rows that are exact repeated of earlier rows. For example, there is one employee name Nilesh, one employee name Saurav, one employee name Shashi, one employee name Sashank, and there are three more rows exactly of our data. And this is the real case scenario, because in real world data, uh, many often will be duplicated with the same person name, employee id, salary, and xyz. Okay, so even if a fewer fields slightly change there, that's why the checking is very much important, because might there will be the case the employee id, name, and salary is same. For our case, for example, let take me my example only. We have two Nilesh data, employee id, my name, my surname, my salary is same, but in the duplicated data there will be a change in my age, change in my location. So do we really need to drop the duplicated value or not? So that's where we need to check the unique identifier. So in our case, unique identifier is nothing but the employee id. If employee id is same, that means that complete row, duplicated row, we can name it as duplicated row and we can drop it. Okay, because employee id cannot be same for new employers. Let's take an example like your university seat number or roll number cannot be same. If two people has the same name or same roll number or seat number, means it is a duplicated value, just remove it. Okay, let's take an real world example if you didn't get the explanation. So let me think. Okay, two entries, there is a person named John and we have two entries for the John, and one slightly have a different spacing or retype city name, but they are still the same employee entered twice. So checking the whole row for an exact match would be we can miss this. The same way, two photos of the same person from slightly different angle or color or light angle, but still that is a same person only. So we directly can drop that, or how we can handle it, the duplicate values. Let's jump into the code and see it, and then you will get a very clear picture of what I'm saying. Why I'm saying it again, because first we need to understand what is duplicate values. So there should be some parameters to understand duplicate values. With the name you can't say it is a duplicate value, because uh, in a organization there can be hundreds of Nilesh, hundreds of Saurabh, hundred of Shashi, hundred of Rahuls. So on the basis of name, if you say that this is duplicate data and start dropping it, you will be losing the employees data. So it should be one parameter. In our case, that parameter is employee id, because employee id cannot be duplicated. Okay, so first thing first, let me print the exact, let me say duplicate, duplicate duplicate rows, and df dot, there is one function name as duplicated dot sum, done. And let also, this is I'm just doing this print because you all to get it, how many duplicates employee and how many duplicate employees id is there, because we are trying to remove all this with the help of id. So first thing first, we need to identify how many duplicate entries are there, because in real world we won't open the Excel. So without opening the Excel, this is how we can do it. And it's employee ID, and let's say comma duplicated function dot sum, and it should be dot not comma sum. Okay, let's save it, clear the screen. Let me maximize this. ID is a primary key. Yes, perfect. That's what with the help of ID, because it is a primary. And see the output. So you can see exact duplicated row is 0, duplicate employee ID is 6. Means the complete row exactly copy pasted or duplicated is not there in our database. For example, what I have in the beginning, I have told that employee ID can be duplicated, employee name can be duplicated, but might we have age different, we have space in the city name, so exact duplicate rows is not there, it's 0. Means first thing first, what we need to check is there complete row is duplicated. Means might be while time of data entry, that data entry engineer has done some mistakes, it duplicated the data, so that is not there in our DB, in our CSV file. There is exact duplicate rows is not there. But what we have found that there are employee IDs which is duplicated. Okay, that's what it meant. So how now, what that 6 means? 6 means that duplicate entries are there with a tiny difference, extra space, a different capitalization. Okay, the first letter can be capital of the name or XYZ. So that makes them look different from rows to rows. Understood this? But even though the employee is same, the data is for the same employee, but it has a very tiny or minor difference. So how to deal with it now? Now we have identified it. There is duplicate entry, but for not the entire row, but for the few datas. Now, how to deal with it? So to first deal with it, let me just complete the code and then I will be explaining to you all. Dot drop, and I will say duplicate, drop duplicates, and we will be creating a subset. Meantime, what is subset? You all can answer this. That's again mathematics. So I will complete the code and I will say keep first. Yes. And then print shape. I want to see the shape after removing the duplicates. What is subset? What is set? This is again mathematics. Perfect. Perfect. I've successfully removed the duplicate values, because we already know our clean data has 120 rows and 10 columns. So df.shape line number 26 have given me the cleaned data. 1 2 3 is a subset of 1 2 3 4 5. Perfect. Yes, sort of correct answer, for clap for you. So line number 22 and 23, I hope you understand and got it, that we checked the complete exact duplicate rows in our entire data set. That's what it shows 0, and we found that there is a duplicate, and duplicate is a subset is a sample of primary set. Yes, that's the English definition it, and that is also correct, Shashi. So line number 23 also you got it, that we have found that there is a duplicate with a time minute in the IDs, and there is a 6 duplicate employee IDs. So here what we are doing is we are dropping that duplicates and we are creating a subset of employee ID. If 50% of data is missing, should we still clean it or throw it away? So you think of it, if out of 100%, 50% of your data is missing, If you throw the 50% of data, remaining 50%, if you're doing the analysis, will that analysis will help you in your business decision? Yes or no? The best answer is, see, throwing it is not an actual answer. You just can't throw it because you're dealing with missing data, not duplicated data. If data is duplicated, straight away drop it, because that is a duplicate data. It won't affect your business decision. But if you have missing values, you should deal with it with filna, dropna, mean, medium, and other things, what we have already seen. We need to deal with it. We can't throw 50% of data, of course. I hope I answer your question. Okay. So what I have done on line number 25, I have dropped the duplicates. This is an inbuilt function of pandas, and we have created a subset of employee ID, and we have kept the first, because out of duplicate we need to tell drop duplicate, out of that duplicate entry which entry we need to keep. So we need to keep the first entry, and then from second onwards it is duplicated value of first, so that's why we are dropping from second onwards. So after dropping it, we are remained with the clean data. There is no duplicate now. Hope you understand this, what I have done on line number 25, because this is important. There is a beginner mistake also for line number 25. So running df duplicate without a subset is argument on a data where duplicate have minor formatting difference. It will miss them entirely, like we have just saw. So if you don't provide the subset, so what drop duplicate will do? I'm not getting line number 25. Okay, I will explain you bit. Just let me complete this beginner mistake. Okay, so if you forget the argument of subset, if you forget this one and this one, this both of them, if you forgot it, what will happen? It will ignore the tiny like there is a formatting issue, for example small h and capital H in case of HR. It will ignore that. Might it will be a duplicated, but drop duplicate will ignore that. Then second, if there is a spacing issue, you have a space before H, or if you have a space after R in HR, it will also just ignore it. So don't miss the subset part. And the second thing is keep. Forgetting keep and not thinking about which copy of data we need to keep or remove it. That's what I've explained. The first one, the original data, we need to keep it. The duplicate, the second or third or fourth, we need to remove that. So we need to keep the first one, and there is another one is the last one. Okay, so choose first one or last one, it's on you, but I always choose the first one, because after first it's duplicated up till last. So we can keep the last one and remove everything before last, or we can keep the first one and we can remove everything after first. So there are two things for keep. Okay, and now for line number 25, let me open the Excel then. uh, okay, I hope my Excel is visible. So we have purposely just focus on this employee ID, because in this column only we have duplicates. As I made it specifically for column, but for entire data set we can have a duplicate values. But for the explanation, I have just covered the employee ID itself. Why? Because in employee ID, if there is a duplicate, because this is a primary key, yes, you only answer it, Saurav, yes. So if the primary key is repeated, so I don't want to see all this data, the name, the department, whatever it may be. If the employee ID is duplicated, means that data of that particular employee is duplicated. Yes, understood this? First, why I have selected employee ID? First thing first. Yes, yes, quickly in the chat, then I will be proceeding. First, why I've selected the employee ID? Okay, I've opened the wrong sheet. This is the right sheet. Why I've selected employee ID? Understood this? Because if the primary key, if your roll number is repeated, means your data is repeated itself. Understood this? Yes. So that's why we are only focusing on employee ID. Okay. Because if this is repeated, I don't want to verify that the entire data is repeated itself. Now, what are the ways where data can be repeated? In my Python or Panda can ignore the space. For example, like here Rahul. So if the Rahul data is repeated, there will be a space before R. It will ignore it. What it will do? It will ignore this. Yes, like ID 113. Yeah. So it will ignore this data. See, on here and here we have repeated data. But here we have age. Here this is missing. Okay, the entire data is also repeated, but if you see, the difference is here Ahmedabad is all caps, here Ahmedabad is in small. So this is how it will ignore those things. That's why considering the entire data won't make any sense, because Python or Panda will ignore this, because they will say AHMED Ahmedabad, it all caps over there, and here it's all small, and this is two unique values. Why it is unique value? If you know ASCII value, so capital A has a different ASCII value and small a has a different ASCII value. Same way with H and M. So that's why we are not comparing cities with city for the duplicate value. Same way we are not comparing the space also has an ASCII value, enter also has an ASCII value. That's why we are not comparing with them. We are directly comparing with employee ID. That's why I've created a subset of it. And with the help of employee ID, it is exactly the same 113, 113. I'm saying drop it. Drop it and create a subset of it. Understood? That's why we are removing it. Removes handling with unnecessary extra data, saving resource and effort. Yes, of course, but we need to remove the duplicate values, not just for the resource and efforts, but duplicate values will, for example, in this case only, if you see age is missing and Ahmedabad are two different, one is small and one is all caps, while time of the graphical representation, the visual representation in graph, it will say one small Ahmedabad and one caps Ahmedabad. There will be two different graph for the same data. So that type of mistakes can happen. So that's why with the help of employee ID, we are removing, because it's exactly the same. We are completely saying drop this duplicate value. Now out of this, which one we need to keep and which one we need to drop? For example, let's say Rahul data is repeated 3 times. So I am saying keep first. So our Panda find this one is the first one. I'm saying keep this. Remaining, if you find any EMP113, drop everything from that point. So after this, if you find 113, it will drop it. Below, if it find 113, it will drop it again. Hope now you understand the code. Line number 25. Yes or no in the chat, and then I will be moving further. And in this way, we need to do it. The reason is, okay, you got it. So this way we need to do it. What is this way? This way means first find the missing values, then fill the missing values, then drop the duplicate values, and the last part is then rename the columns. This is the standard following. First, if you try to remove the duplicate values, or first you rename the column and then you start filling the missing values, might there will be, you end up with the not completely wrong, but a wrong data set. So this is first check the shape, means there is a duplicate values, check the column names. Okay, that we need to rename the column names, but first start with finding the missing values, empty values, null values, and fill those values. And after filling that, you have a complete filled data set. Then after complete filling data set, just go and find the duplicate values and start removing. The format I am following, just follow those format and job also. Okay, let's jump to the PPT and let's see what is next topic is. So we already learn about finding and removing the duplicates, and we understood it. The next part is renaming the messy columns. So before we have employee name, now it should be this, means we will be doing in this way. And DEPT depth, it should be department. The salary is all caps, but if you observe, we have only first letter capital, which is known as camel casing. This is known as camel casing. First letter is capital and rest is in a small. So department should follow that, salary should follow that. Performance underscore, if we have two things like name and employees are two different things, so we are connecting them with an underscore, so we should have that. And the projects, so the project is small, so we should have this. Okay, so let's start with doing the renaming. And this is easy, this is not that, but we need to deal with the space before. If there is a space before employee name, we need to deal with it. If there is a space after employee name, we need to deal with it, and that is known as trailing space in our world. Okay, so let me comment all this now. This is not required also, I need to, okay, everything is commented. Hope we are going very smooth and you all are understanding the concept. That is the most important part. Okay, and let me uncomment this part so that we will know what was before and after what we have done the changes. Okay, so df dot column, because now we are working on columns and we are going to change the column names. And let me finish the code and then I will be explaining it to you all what I'm doing. Okay, okay, and of course here I need to tell what are the things I want to change. So I am using rename, and renaming is nothing but an inbuilt Python function, and I need to rename the columns itself. So let's say columns equals to, and here the things get messier, means this is a long code. Employee slash name will change to, and I will be changing this to employees, oh sorry, typo. And this is how you need to do it. dpt, it should be in double quotes, and I want to change this into department, so department. And then the next was age, I think, yeah, age only, and I want to change this into age. We can't skip the column name. The next was employee, department, age, salary. The next was salary, and it was all caps, and we want to change it into camel casing. This is third was, I think, performance. Let me quickly check on the Excel. Experience, salary, performance rating, I want to change it. Okay, and I want to change this underscore comma, and the next thing I want to change is project. Age is the same only, I just took it for explanation part. Oh, there is nothing in age we have changed. Projects, comma, let me remove that extra one, and the last one, let's say I'm just taking the city for the extra ones. Is it necessary to use all column? Same before and after. Yes, it's just for an explanation I'm taking it, because might there will be a doubt for the people who will be watching this offline. So that's why I'm taking the age and salaries. Nothing I've changed in that. There is no necessary rule that you need to take each and every department here. Sorry, column name over here. So if you see, I haven't selected experience. If you see, I'm not touched with the experience over here. Okay, but I've took the age and city just to show it is not necessary to pick each and every column names. Let me open the Excel itself. If you see Excel, we have employee ID, name, depth means department, age and experience. I've skipped this experience one, but I've took the city, and of course I've skipped the joining date because it is joining underscore date. It is as it is. So I just pick those things to make you understand that we can ignore this all, or we can pick it and keep it as it is. If you are picking each and everything from the column name, you need to keep it as it is if you don't want to change it. Okay, now let's print simple df dot column, and let's save it, clear the screen, and let's hit it. So first it will show the before one because I've just uncommented it on the line number 5, and before and after comparison. So let me zoom in a bit. So see, employee ID is the same, employee name, so it is now rename as underscore name, depth now rename as department, age is as same age, experience I have not touched it, salary is now rename as camel case salary, performance rating, the underscore was missing, now the underscore is there, project now piece capital followed the camel case, it is as it is, joining date is as it is, and both of the data type is string only. So hope you understand, this is very easy. I've just used the rename and it is asking what we need to rename, and we are saying the columns. So because there are more than one columns, that's why we have used this, because we need to follow the dictionary format, keys and value pairs. So I've done it, and I don't think this explanation is required. The only explanation required is for the line number 28, because I was talking about the trailing space, and str.strip removes if there is any space before and after uh, any of the column names. Hope you all got this code. Why we need to do this in real world? Clean consistent column name means you will never again have to remember what is DEPT, okay, or department or capital DEPT in this file. This alone prevent dozens of small bugs down the line, because now we have renamed everything in the same format, so we don't need to visit again and again for the column name. So once you remember, okay, employee underscore name, if there is two things like employee ID, so you know it is joined by underscore. Yes, in JS we use that, and in Python we use strip. Okay, so one common beginner mistake, this is important and tip for the day, is renaming column before stripping white space or blank space. Okay, don't just rename it and then have this code. First you need to remove the trailing space, the white space, and then you need to rename all the columns. This is the tip for the day, because that is technically different string to the Python. If you renamed it, that is technically different column or different name for the Python to identify. So first make sure you strip it, then you rename it. Understood it? Yes, no in the chat, and then we will continue with the next topic. So we have successfully renamed messy column. I don't think it's a rocket science, it's very easy. I don't want to spend much more time on that part, because the next part is something very important. We have renamed it successfully, which is very easy. But what about the inconsistent textual data or textual value? How we can clean up, how we can handle those things? Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. And this is known as standardizing the text values. For example, like capital, caps, all caps, HR, then small, and then mixed up, like it has dot, then it doesn't have a dot. How we can deal with this type of data? So now that column names are clean, we still have messier values. Column names, we have a standard following for all the column names, but might be there will be a scenario inside the column names, like in department, we have different types of HR, we have different types of IT, we have different types of other department values. What about the values? We have successfully just clean the column names, the textual column names, the textual data, the string data. But what about the value inside the department? Let me show you the Excel sheet so you will get a clear picture what I'm talking about. So we have successfully just sorted the column names, but I am talking about what about this. See, the IT is small, here it's caps. Okay, and this is the mixed up. See, this marketing has a trailing space before it, and here the IT is caps but it has dot in it. And in similar way, this is known as column values. The department is the column and this is known as column values. Here city is nothing but column name, but Ahmedabad, there is two different Ahmedabad over here, three different. I can see the trailing space on this one. So how to deal with this type of values, and that's what I've given you homework for city. I will explain you on the department part, and the city one you will be fixing and sorting it out. So this is known as cleaning up the inconsistent text values. Okay, so let's jump onto the code. I think you understood the problem statement, and let's solve and fix it through the code. So let me comment all this. This is not required. Also, this is not required. Let's jump to the end of the file and start coding. Okay, so uh, I am only targeting the department. Your case, the homework is for the city. So df department, df same thing, because I'm working with department, and first I need to remove the trailing space. So first thing I will be do dot strip dot string dot strip, and strip string dot title. This will be a bit confusing for you all, but bear with me, I will be explaining you what I have done here. If you want, I can show you the city one also here if you want, or else I can ignore that part. Let's ignore let's ignore and let you I will be and I will ignoring it. It's homework for you also. You all do it, and I'm confident enough that you all once you understand this concept, you can easily do it. Okay, so let's save this. I've just ignored this. Line number 42 was for the city, so I'll just ignore this, and let's clear the screen and execute the code, and you will see. Okay, what I've done a spelling mistake or what? Okay. That's the issue. So see, this is one mistake you all can also do. I've just commented this code. So it's saying department is not defined because here I've renamed the DEPT as department, but in original DF, I'm using the original DF. It is DEPT still. So I need to re-comment this and execute the code up till here. So let me save this, clear the console, and now I've just printed this. Okay, and it says this one also. Let's, for time being, I'm removing this, and now let's clear this, and I will be visiting that part again, and let's see now. Okay, now it brings me operations, sales, IT again, finance, marketing, again operations, sales, HR, then I dot T dot, and ops means operations we know, but it's OPS, then again sales, and again marketing. This is the unique values inside department column. This is a unique value inside department column, means we have operations, then we have sales, and if you see, we have all cap sales, we have all small sales, we have camel case sales. So it's us what type of value we need to keep, and we need to just update every other value. So better not too perfect. Notice, if you notice this IT, this IT, this IT. There are 3 different ITs and operations also. So they are different, although meaning is same. We as a human being understand the meaning is same, but for data, for Python, for pandas, it's completely new string itself. So we need to always double check this type of stuffs in our complete database, and then we need to take one right followings. Like example, if I want to keep this operation, then I will be keeping it, and then I will be changing each and every operations into this. Okay, so how to do it, let's jump onto that part and let's do it. So to do it, I need to first create a map of it, because we need to tell Python that this all are the stuffs I want to change it. So let's add those stuffs. Let me go with IT first. There is a capital IT, and I'm seeing from here only the output only. I'm not just thinking and imagining and creating my own stuff. There is an output in front of you, and you can just see it and just add those things in the map. Okay, and here I'm creating the dictionary, and I want that the all caps IT should be okay. First let me have the small IT also, if it is there. This is there, this is there, this is there. So let's go with all caps IT itself, and if there is any IT like this, change it to all caps. And let me have in this way, so you will understand it better. It's a beautification of the code, nothing else. Okay, the next IT I can see is I dot, sorry, it should be dot, this is, and I want it as INT, all caps. I want it all caps. You can have it in your ways too. The other one is, I can see ops, OPS, it's all small, O is capital, and I want it as, let's copy and paste from here only, and I want this. And of course for HNR, because I'm going with all caps IT, so similar I will be following with all caps HR. I'm not dealing with each and everything over here. I'm just for you all to get a clear picture. I'm just targeting few things in this live. You can target each and everything if you want to replace those stuffs. Okay, so let's update it, and double quotes, it says department equals to df again, department, and here dot replace. I think you already now know the code, and I'm going to pass this complete dictionary, which is our department underscore map, and save it. And now if we print, and let's print the same thing, the unique ones. Let's copy this code and save it, come to the terminal, clear it. Hi sir, Raj. Congratulations on that. There is one guy who has commented that he has created a website in which he can zip and unzip the files, I think. Of course, it is a user based application, so with the help of the user, means if you click on that file on the browser, it will unzip your file and it will zip the file completely. So congratulations on that, and keep it up and add more functionality to your website. Okay, so I've executed it. The first part is the not ununique part, if you see, and the second I have just changed the ops to operation. Now you can see this is the operation. Okay, and we have done with the HR also. So let's find that HR here, if that HR is there. If not, the HR is HR only. And dot IT one, I've changed the dot IT. So is it not there? Yeah, it's not there here. Also, if you want, let me target those things also, or else you will say, sir, there is still one IT is remaining. So let me target that too. That's why I've said I'm not targeting each and everything from here. I'm just targeting few things for you to understand how to update it. Okay, so now the small IT has is been removed from this list because now it is not unique. This 2 IT is not unique, only 1 IT, because and sales, we have 2 different sales, so you can also target here the sales and change it to the sales. And the small HR should be capital HR. So if I add one more here, like this one, HR comma, sorry, colon, change it to capital HR and save it, and again clear the, so this the scene is, you understand how to change it. So here from now, unique value has gone, this small HR, and you won't be seeing that small HR. The length of the string above is 14, the below is 10, means we have successfully deal with 4 repeating values, but it was inconsistent. Okay, so this is how you need to do it. What I have done is successfully first remove the trailing space, then I've printed the unique value so I can see all the unique values, and then I've created a dictionary that from this I need this, from this I need this, means we are updating that all the different types of IT into single ITs, all different types of ops into operation, all different types of HR into all caps HR. And then I just updated it with the help of replace, updated the original data frame column values with our dictionary, and then I printed the unique value. So if you are still seeing the different marketing, so add those marketing here, and whatever you want to change those marketing into. Okay, the same with the sales and operation. This I'm giving you how to do it, but I'm not going through each and every thing. I'm not changing in this live. Okay, do it as a homework for your practice. Okay, hope this is clear. Yes or thumbs up in the chat if you understand this. So we will be jumping on to the next part. Okay, before jumping on to the next part, let's take a 5 minutes break, because next part is nothing but filtering and sorting. And then after that we have a mini project. So that mini project is the HR data. I will be sharing those file to you, and I will be giving you a homework that you just learned from the previous live and this live, everything, apply each and every concept on that HR data. So let's take 5 minutes break, and after it's 12:50, let's come back at 12:55, and then we will be learning the last 3 remaining topics, which is nothing but filter, sort and group by, and these 3 are most important. After learning filter, sort and group by and everything we have seen and learned today, you will be a professional data cleaning data analyst. Okay, let's meet at 12:56 now, because it's 12:51. Okay, it's exactly 12:56 and I am back and hope you understand how to replace the value from a particular column. Okay, let's jump on to the next topic, which is important, and it's nothing but filtering and sorting data. So first understanding what is filtering, and then we will be jumping onto the sorting. So filtering lets you pull out only the rows that match a condition. For example, only employees in IT department or only employees earning above a certain salary. Okay, let's see an example and you will get it after it if you didn't got the definition. So out of all this code, I just need to before you go further, can you advise on testing of code, compiler or debugger? Okay. So it majorly depends on what programming language or what you're doing testing. For example, there is a separate tool for debugging and testing of code for React for front end. There are separate toolkits and debugging and testing method on back end. So of what you're asking, can you be more specific so I can answer that question? Python and C. Okay. So C, I think C compiling C is if you know C, if others are knowing C. First thing first, if we see the because C is a compiler based programming language and Python is interpreter based programming language. First, we need to understand the difference between compiler and interpreter. How compiler works? Compiler works, it takes the complete code in a one go and try to compile it, means run it, and if it is successful, it will generate the output. If not, it will generate an error. But in Python, it is interpreter goes line by line. It will execute your line number one. If there is an error, it will stop on line number one only. First, this is a major difference between compiler and uh, interpreter. Hope you understand this, and this is important because your question does have a testing of code, compiler, and debugging. Then debugging skills. So in debugger, we have separate debugging tools. For example, if you're debugging in Java or if you're debugging in Python, so uh, in Java or in Python, let's talk about Python because you asked Python. So we uh, what I just forgot the name. Let me Django. So for debugging, so we in Python we use that, or else you are doing with ID. In if you're using ID in Python, let me open the ID and show you what is ID is all about. Or if you are doing it in a VS Code, so this is Python ID. Let me bring up on the screen. Ah. So here, if you see, if you are basically using this, you have this debug option over here, and you need to apply the debugger on that particular line, which from where to where you want to debug it. Okay, for example, you have created your fast API and you want to debug inside your post logic. You need to apply the debug over there and then hit the debug and go to the line and file, or you start the debugger from here. And once you hit that API from the postman or from the browser, it will ultimately stop on that highlighted line of what you want to stop it or debug it, and from there it will start showing what happened next, what went well, what doesn't went well. That is how we do debugging. Testing of code, so we write different test cases in Java also, in C also, in React also, in Angular also. We write different test cases to uh, why test cases is important first. That is the main thing we need to understand it. And I'm just going off topic, just bear with me for the viewers who are interested in data analyst. So We write test cases because many things I don't want that my code deployed to the production, and I don't want to be shocked if something went off over there. So that's why we write test cases. For example, we have created a login mechanism, and there I write a test cases that this is a demo ID with a demo password, means temporary ID and temporary password, and that test cases will execute in Java. It's a JUnit, so it will text it just execute the text case, and what it will do behind the scene, it will apply that demo credentials and try to log in. If it is successful login, my test cases pass. If something went wrong, it will generate an error. That's why the test cases is written for all the codes. Hope I answer your questions. Not sure the name, it says SMS. Yeah, PyTest is a basic library for writing the test cases in Python, like JUnit in Java, and for I think for React it's Karma or something. I'm not recalling it right away, but yes, for Python it's PyTest. What a Python code is, what a Python code is generated by say 500 lines, the AI is not able to debug. I first thing first, I don't rely on AI to write my codes or to generate my code. First thing first, I being a software engineer, I myself write the code, and I write in a structured way. That's why if I'm facing an error, for an example I've just given you, if I'm facing an error on a post call or an update call, I just need to go through that particular method I've created. Like I've created a routes file. In that route file, I've created my post call. So if I'm getting a facing an error while time of post call, so I will go into that file and I will apply my debugger on that particular method, and then I will debug that particular code. That is how 500,000, 10,000 lines of code. As a senior developer, we just write a code in that structure way to debug it. It's make it possible. I don't depend on AI and everything to write code. How I use my AI. So I use my AI to write English paragraphs and something. If I want to mail you, I just use AI to create a mail and that thing, because there might be a typo or some structure issue. That's why I use AI to generate English, nothing else. I don't use it for code and anything. I'm coding from last many years, so I'm good at coding. So don't use AI for debug and everything. It will utilize your token, and you need to provide the 500 lines of code, means first 100, then second 100, then up till 500, and then you need to tell them analyze this code, and then the prompt engineering, and ultimately it will give you half answer, half correct or fully wrong. I'm not sure what it will do to your prompt. So make sure you don't use AI for debugging everything. Just develop that skill in yourself. How to debug it? The best answer is make your code structured. Don't have uh, one file of 500 line. It is very difficult to debug 500 lines of code into one file. Divide it into the structure format, use oops concept, use classes, create classes, export that particular classes, utilize as module into another file. That is how debugging it is very much helpful. At the end of the session, kindly help for a structure. Okay, for that, just can you go to the Code with an MN playlist, and you can check my Python bootcamp last two videos of fast APIs. I have explained you what is this. Is not known as a structure, it is known as architecture of the project, and architecture of project is important for debugging also. You can go through that, because I don't want to bring that architecture and structure part into data analysis right away, because data analysis follows different types of architectures and project structures. Hope you can go to Code with an M playlist and first playlist of Python bootcamp, and last two videos means hash 11 and hash 10. Okay, that will help you in those stuffs. Okay, let's come back to the data analyst, and I was talking about the filtering, and I already explained you filtering. If the people are only interested in the employees in the IT department whose salaries is above a certain range or certain values, so how we can do it. So let me start coding on it. So I'm interested in IT employees, so I'm just naming my variable in such way df, and I want to access the df department. Out of complete data frame, inside complete data frame, I'm only selecting my department. That's why the 2df is there. I know the question will arise, that's why I already done this. Why? Because I need to compare it. I need to select with only IT1, and I'm printing to check that I've only selected the employees whose department is IT. And how I can do it, I can print IT underscore employee and check the shape of it. So dot shap done. And now okay, let me show you the output also, and then I will continue. Okay, see 20 10. So 10 is the columns, and of course there are only 20 employees whose department is IT. You can go and go on to the Excel and apply the filter and then check it, but yeah, the number is 20 only. If you want, I can do it, but the data is unsorted, so we won't get the right numbers over here. Okay, where is department? Here is the department, and we can apply the filter. And from here, if you uncheck everything, and just because now this is not unsorted, this is messier data, so that's why I need to do in this way. And if I select everything, here for me it's showing count 20, but I'm not sure it is visible to you all not. But to do this way, if someone told about that CA part, if you do this way, this will take much more time, but we have successfully done this with the help of our Python code. So it is only just one line of code. So we also get that 20 rows only, those who have the IT. Okay, and the second condition was who was earning with a certain numbers above, earning with that more than that. So I am naming the variable as a high earners. Okay. Usually software engineer is the field who has the highest package in the world. So that is salary, because we have already named it, and here we will be creating a condition those who are earning more than 80,000. Okay, and I will be printing that variable. And of course I'm interested in employee name. I don't want to print the, because this is the variable is holding the number. Number means the people who are earning more than 80,000. This is holding a number, but I am interested not in this, or not only their salary, but I'm interested in their name, their department, and salary. So this is how you need to print it. So employee name, and then I say comma, a department, and everything should be in double quotes. So I will be adding that once I finish typing, and the salary. So let's add the double quotes. Done, and the last one is here. Okay, we are done, and I'm not interested in all the 20s, so I'm only interested the first 5. To print first 5, we need to do dot head. So this is how you have created a complex data analysis query. It's not that complex. Here we are storing the people salaries, the employee salary who is more than 80,000, and then out of that variable I am saying that I am interested in their name, their department, and salary, and I'm only interested in the first 5 out of 20. That's why I've used head. Simple, as simple as that, and I'm printing it. So let's save it, and let's execute it, and you will see the 5 names. So first one is Priya Bansal, and the department is uh, optional, and the salary is this. See, this is different. This is different. Don't get confused. This is I filter for the IT, but on the second one, I have only filtered with the highest salary, not the IT department. this is something else, this is something else. Don't think that department will be IT only. This is something else, this is something else. On the second one, line number 61, I'm only sorted with the highest salary. So Priya has the highest salary, then the Sai has the highest salary, more than 80,000. Highest salary means more than 80,000. Then Aditya has over lakh, and Deepak has over lakh, and Manoj has. And their department is operation, finance, and salary and employee name. Okay. So if you want only interested in IT one, so this query, this your what we can say, the logic will change over here. The condition will change. Okay. Hope you understood. Already got a thumbs up from Saurav, so he got it. And in real world, where we can use this, so your manager can say, show me everyone in finance, or show me the people who has a salary over 80,000. So this is how you need to do it in real world. Okay. Now there is one thing the beginner mistakes is, if you see I've used double equals to, and if you know Python basics, you can't use single equals to, that is used for assignment. For example, here I've used single equals to, this is nothing but I'm creating a variable, and this value will go inside the variable. How logic works in this, the value go from right, this is the value go from right to left. Simply it's nothing but I'm saying num equals to 10. Where I've typed, okay, num, so 10 is the value, and this is single equals to, this is known as assignment operator. So right to left, this 10 will go inside them. So this is the same thing I'm doing over here in department, here in IT. But double equals to is for the comparison. Double equals to is the comparison operator, so basic Python. But don't forget this, the basic Python. If you use single equals to, everything will be changed, or there will be an error. Okay, hope you understand this filtering, how we have filtered on our requirement. I have shown you filtering of the department value basis on the uh, string values. Also, we have done this on the numerical value, but numerical value, we have successfully printed their name, department, and salary associated with their salary, because we have filtered here on the basis of salary. If you understood, let's jump onto the sorting part, and let me start the code of that. So let's say top paid. Let's say top paid, because I've already used the high earners. So let's say top paid, and that above one was filtering. What is the difference between filtering and sorting? First thing first. If you don't know this, you won't understand what I'm going to do next. Anyone, what is the difference between filtering and sorting? Meantime, I will complete the code. Df dot sort and underscore value, and I want to sort on salary only. Okay, and I want to sort it in ascending order. Anyone can answer this? What is the difference between filtering and sorting? It's very easy, and it's plain English. If you are comfortable in any other language, you can explain in any other language, but I should know that language also. Oh. This is an issue. Department. Saurav as a filter means to select the desired data, and sort means to arrange the data in ascending and descending order. Filter apply a specific rule to view a certain. Both of you are correct, Sashi and Kiran. So clap for you. That's the perfect definition and the difference between filtering and sorting. And I'm only interested in head over here. Done, and let me clear the screen, and also let me comment all this. This is not required, and let's execute it now. Sort or insert data in some order. Okay. I have not defined the df.sort.value. Let me define those. It should be values. This is an now done. Okay. So if you see over here in the output, if it is visible to you all clearly, employee name, department, and salary, and we have sorted on the basis of salary. And if you see and the top paid, so top paid is Manoj and his salary is 1,27,000. Then second in Krishna 1,18,000, then Gaurav 1,17,000, and then Vikram Ghosh, it's IT, it's 1,11,500, and last is Vivan Shah, and nothing but 1,05,000 is the salary of them. So this five are top paid because I've used head. If you remove the head, it will be printing all the top paids over here, but I'm only interested in the five, so that's why we are doing this. Okay. So real case where this can be used, building a top 10 highest performance or top paid employees report. This is exactly the leadership can ask you during the time of appraisal season. They are interested in the top paid employees or top performance employees. Why top performance? Because that's why they have been paid so much, because they are good at what they have been hired for. Okay, I hope you all understand this. We have simply done a inbuilt function, use an inbuilt function known as sort values, and we are doing on the salary, and ascending is false. What does this means? Ascending means false, but we can see the salary in the decreasing value. Yes, if I made it at okay, let me made it as true, change it to true, and let's see the output. Then you will understand what I mean to say over here. Okay, now what has happened? Just I changed a value from false to true, and now what is happening over here is, see the difference. See the difference. Only in salary, because we have applied everything to salary, nothing else. We have only applied this to the salary. See what does it does. Ascending is 36,500 is the salary of Ishan Bansal from HR department. Then Aryan operation 39,042. Now this is an increasing order, means ascending order. But we are interested in the top paid, highest paid. That is where your mathematic logic should kick in. That's why the ascending should be false, because we are interested in top paid. Means the highest one will be at the bottom. So ascending should be off, and the highest one now here come in the decreasing order. This is decreasing order. 127, 118, 117, 111. This is decreasing order in salary. But if you make it ascending as true, it will goes in increasing order, and now you will get the least paid one. These are the least paid one. Okay, are you getting it? Thumbs up, yes, no, something else to acknowledge this. You have got this point. This is English plus mathematics. Making ascending as true, you will get a least paid one in ascending order. So 36, 39, 42, 43, 43. These are the least paid one. And if you see Amit Mehta are the repeated values, because I have already commented the above code to remove the duplicate values. That's why we are seeing the duplicate values over here. If you didn't comment anything from above, this value won't be there. The duplicate value won't be there. Okay. Okay, thank you for the acknowledgement. Hope you all got this, and this is very important. So we have successfully learned what is filtering and what is sorting, and this all are important because we are performing this all on our actual data. Okay, and but we aren't updating our actual data. Excel sheet still remains the same. I haven't done anything on that Excel. What I have done, I have created a data frame. We have created a data frame of that Excel, and then we are doing each and every operation on this data frame. We are not updating that Excel sheet. Okay, this is one thing you need to understand. Okay, let's jump onto the last topic of today, which is nothing but group by. So let me jump onto the PPT. So we have learned the filtering and sorting over here. Okay, so group by. What is group by? So group by splits your data into groups. Simple. Like all rows for each department, applies a calculation to each group and combines the result into one summary table all in one line. Sir, what are you speaking, sir? This is going above my head, sir. Okay, let's see one example and then you will understand what I'm saying, and what is group by is. Just understand it. Group means we are working with more than one things. And that's simple. Okay, let's see the code and then you will understand what I am saying. So majority time theoretical knowledge, it's just in plain English, we don't get it in one go. So let's have one variable and I'm saying yes, depth summary. Whatever name you want to give your variable, you can give it. I'm just giving this variable name for my understanding. Okay, and we will be using group by, and in group by, first group I will be in my group, first thing I will be selecting the first column, which is department, and on department I want to group it with salary. So, and this is I'm making the group. Department is the column name and salary is the other column name. I'm grouping them, but what performance or what type of operation I want to do it, I want to mean everything and then round it off to 0, and then let's see the magic. I am printing group by example, grouping employees of same department. Perfect. Yes, Saurav, that's what I'm doing over here. That's what I'm doing over here. And your definition, in let's see with the output, and clap for you. That's what the simple group by means. And let me comment all the other printing statements. Okay, let's save it, clear the console, and let's execute it, and you will see all the departments. So departments we have finance, HR, IT, marketing, operations, sales. I have not removed that sales one, other sales one, and marketing, operation, sales. So all the sales I have not removed. That's why you are seeing it. I'm not clear the data perfectly. You need to do it from your end while time of practicing. And salary, I've done the mean of the salary and round it off. So this is the finance mean. This is the HR mean, means the average. Means average salary. So this is the average salary in finance department. This is the average salary in HR department. This is the average salary in IT department. And looking at the data, I can see the highest salary average is of IT. That's what this data gives me insight to the uh, highest average salary in which department. So I can see the highest salary average is in IT department. That means the people who are working in IT department has higher salary compared to other department. Okay, and then second highest is in finance, and you can go through the data and then you can do your analysis. Okay, I was just doing a basic analysis and was explaining to you all. I hope you got it. How what I have done over here is, first I've grouped the, round it off. If you calculate the mean, it can have 72278.0.13567. Okay, I have rounded off to 0, means after dot everything will be 0. I don't want to sum it up. For example, 6.5, so we can say it as 7, or if you are doing a floor mathematics, you can say it 6.5 6. Floor and ceiling is a concept in maths. So here I don't want to complicate things. That's why I'm rounding everything off at 0. So it can be 78.23567. We can round it off with something else, but I want to round it off everything as 0. I hope you understand this sort of. Round means after dot, everything should be 0. I don't want to consider the other numbers. Okay. And hope you all got this code. To first we selected two departments. Group by means I'm selecting the department which I want to work with. So I am interested to know which department has the highest average salary. So first that column name, then salary, and then I mean, that's why they see the difference, huh? This is in parenthesis, and I want to perform in mathematical operations. So, and group with the second column name, it is in a box bracket, and that's how this mean is only calculated on the salary, and then this round off is done on the calculated average means calculated mean value. This is how this code is working. Don't make any mistake replacing salary and department and the things, because department has a string value. If you try to do a mean and round, it won't work. It will generate an error. Understood? Okay. What one common mistake I want to share with you here, just forgetting that group by on its own doesn't display anything useful. Okay, if you directly use group by department and salary and leave it and try to print it, it doesn't display anything useful. It needs an aggregation function. What is aggregation? It simply means mean, sum, count. This all is known as aggregation. And change of and changed. This is chained. These two are changed means they are paired together with the help of mean. We can find the relationship between them with the help of this mean. That's what an actual result is produced. Okay, how this is bound to each other, how this is grouped by each other with the help of mean. That's how we identify, okay, this is the average salary in the finance department. That's what I am saying in English also. Okay, hope you understand this, why this is important. It can be sum, it can be count, it can be mean, it can be mode, it can be median, it can be anything, but that makes a sense on the data. For the analysis, you can use it. Hope this concept is clear. Give me a thumbs up or yes or anything, because this is how min, max, count, sum, average. Yes, of course, each and everything from Excel, because uh, now if you have observed this, the group by and everything, and majority of thing we have learned in this live is nothing but we perform on our databases on SQL or MongoDB. This all you perform on the databases directly. If you know PLSQL, programmable SQL, if you know this, we perform this type of stuff there. But that stuff we directly can do in Python and on our data without updating and losing any data here in data analyst. That's how this field emerge. Okay, because there is a limitation to work with database. If you're working with directly in the database and you're directly updating or doing filtering and anything and sorting, this all this filtering, sorting, everything we have learned, we can directly perform on our DB itself. And that's what the job of data engineer. A data engineer do this type of stuff on real databases by cloning their databases, but they don't do any type of analysis. So with a data engineer, knowledge plus analysis and business insight is what a data analysis is all about. Can we add more parameters like rating additional? Yes, you can add more parameters to it if it makes a sense to your analysis. Okay, because here is analysis is all the departments and average salary of department. It should make sense. Randomly you just don't go and group by any of the columns altogether. For example, if I want to give an example, do average salary and head count. Here we can have an head count of the employees or the average performance rating per department. We have a department, and what is the average performance rating? We have a performance rating in our Excel sheet in our data. So which department has an average performance rating? You can calculate that with having the salary in place. Understood what I'm saying? Okay. So if you understood this all, let me quickly jump onto the mini project and let me share on Discord. I will share this. Where is that HR dataset? Okay, here. I have that HR database. So this is the actual HR, real world HR database DB, and I think it has, okay, it has 200 plus data. So this file I'm sharing with you, and this is the mini project you need to practice today. I've shared the file in Discord. Okay, and let me open the PPT, and this is your mini project. Let's clean together, but I want you all are smart enough. You have shown me that you can do it on your own. So Got the file. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Yes, I've shared the file in the Discord. So what you need to do, you need to load the leave this employee messy dot, just understand it as a HR, because I've created this for the messier one. What my thought was, I will do it and then I will share the messier dot csv file with you all and you will perform at your end. But you all are more than capable enough that you have done with me on the employee messy dot csv. That's why I've created another file which is messy HR data. So understand this, load that file HR1, that fill the missing salary and rating using mean, median, and whatever it's fitting for the use cases. Remove the duplicate values and then confirm. Here I've just based on the employee it's 120 rows, but in HR1 it is more than 200. Strip and rename all the columns, and for each and every one it will be different. For example, someone will like all caps, so it will they will be renaming that all caps. Someone will be liking an all small or camel casing. So that's why this data analysis becomes much more interesting. Each and every one have their own prediction, they can have their own business inside, they can have their own sorting, filtering, or renaming the columns. That's why this project will be different for each and every one. Then drop the rows with the missing age and experience in city, and standardize the department and city text. I've already shown you how to do it. And then finish with a group by department summary. You can link with the what we can say, the salary, or also the head count. Okay, let me add to this. Okay, uh, finish with a group by department is the first thing. With the help of department, summarize average salary, head count, and average performance rating per department. Don't worry, all of this I am saying, I will be sharing this what needs to be done in the Discord for you all to work on it. Okay, and after you have done, just comment this in the Discord, because you will be doing this on offline, or come back onto the this video. It will be offline, available offline, and comment which department do you think ends up with the highest average performance rating. Okay, this is the homework for you all. Okay, if there is any doubt regarding this live or previous live, you can ask it. I am done with the today's everything. And the coming live, we will be seeing more things into it, and then I will be introducing the data visualization in my next live, which is on Wednesday 8 p.m. We will be starting with matplotlib basics and bar chart, line chart, pie chart, and customizing the title, label, and color. And then we will be introducing will be the Seaborn for prettier and faster visualization, and the mini project on the visualization of this all data. Okay. Hello, Shashank. You're joining when I am ending the live. So today what we have learned is nothing but, this is a recap. Today we have learned how to fix the data like an analyst. Next time you will be learn how to show it like one, because the best insight in the world is worthiness. If nobody can see it clearly, you are not a good data analyst, because this numbers and everything, we as a software engineer, we as a data analyst understand, but the stakeholders and your manager or other peoples, they don't understand this numbers and everything, they understand the visualization of it. So in next life we will be learning the data visualization. Okay, I will be waiting for few seconds. If you all have any doubt, you can ask it, or else I will wind up. Yeah, and for that, the people, I think Shashank and Saurav, you both were asking about the DSA and HTML, CS, and JavaScript. So I will be doing a video and recording it at today evening or night, and Monday or Tuesday by far I will be uploading it on the YouTube. Okay, so you can watch it offline over there. Okay, anything else? Don't worry about this mini challenge. Each and everything I will be posting in the Discord. So from there you can do the homework part. So this is the upcoming live introduction to visualization, matplotlib basics, bar and line chart. I've already talked about this pie chart and title, enable and color, Seaborn essentials and mini project. Okay. So in only two lives, I think it's only 5 hours or 6 hours of work. We have learned most important thing is what is data, how to read data, how to understand the data, how to clean the data. This is the 70 to 80% of a data analyst day-to-day life job. So if you watch this two live and understand it inside out, then from here onward, it's very easy to demonstrate to visualize the data itself. Thanks a lot, sir. You're welcome. Where we can find more info on OOPS, object-oriented programming. In Python, if you're talking about Python, let me show you. Let me open my cell. If my screen is visible, just come on to code with NM, just go to the playlist and just go through the Python development bootcamp. There I have in detail thought about object oriented programming. Oops. If you want, I can show you the exact video. I can share the link also. Yeah, this is the video. Share, copy. Here is the link. And from that one video, you will get the whole concept of OOPS in Python, because in other programming language, it is a bit different, not that much, a bit different. Okay, any other doubt regarding today's live, regarding anything in data analyst? And make sure those who haven't joined the Discord up till now, make sure you join it, because each and everything, each and every resource I share on Discord. For data analysis, basic maths like what is set, what is mean, median, mode, symbol, numbering. You should know about what is integer, what is float. That's all. Not not that very deep analysis. And of course, in mathematics, go through the graphs, the pie chart, how to read graphs, what is x-axis, y-axis in graphs, what is first thing x-axis and y-axis. This all stuffs. Just go through that. Yeah, I've answered this. For DA in general, what math do you insist learning on basis of charts and graphs? If you not just basic charts and graph, understand the negative y-axis, positive y-axis, positive x-axis and negative x-axis also, because there might be the case going on further from DA, means data analyst. I will be jumping onto the data science and ML. There we will be having the outliers and everything, and there we are talking about the x-axis from positive to negative, y-axis from positive to negative, and there we will be uh, just plotting everything, and then we need to find out from zero, means the center of that axis, is this my outliers, how I consider them as an outlier. So for that we need to know about the axes, the graphs and other things. Okay, and after we complete the data science and ML, we will be starting to solve the Kaggle problems. Then I will be jumping onto the AI stuffs. Okay, because if we are not applying our knowledge into the real world problem solving, then we are not building up own profiles. So after we understand and learn what is ML, what is data science, we will be jumping onto the Kaggle problem. And live we will try to solve it, but it majorly depend on the computation power of your system, because My laptop is very old, so I directly can't run the complete data set on my laptop for the Kaggle competitions. But I will be showing you how to do it and how to code it and everything. But up to reaching up till that, first we need to understand the data. That's what we have understood it today, how to sort it, how to clean it. I think once you go through this tool live again and again and try to do the homework on the HR messy data, you will be confident enough to work with the messier data. And this is, I am saying it is a messier data, but in real world this is how the uh, data is all about. Yeah, I will be using Colab, but ultimately Google Colab use your RAM, your GPU. If you have a paid account in Google Colab, then you can use the terabytes of RAM, and it depends on the use how deeply you use the RAM and terabytes of GPU of Google Colab, it will be charging you. Okay, anything else? Yeah, be excited for the data science ML and Kaggle part, but before being excited to that, we need to understand what data analysis is. If we analyze our data, we clean our data, we do everything, then we can start doing the prediction on that data, and that is nothing but data science come into the picture. So first we need to understand this. That's why I've created this roadmap. First Python, then Python backend if you want to be a Python backend developer, then data science, data analyst, data science, ML and AI, then LLM apps. Okay, thank you everyone for joining and uh, being patient and learning it very seriously and taking your life, your career seriously in this world of software engineering. Okay, so let's wind it off. And I'm on a mission to make you market ready data analyst, and see you in the next live, which is on Wednesday 8 p.m. IST. Take care and God bless you.